Good day, everybody. My name is Mark Schreiber, High Performance Director for Speed Skating Canada short track program. I hope all is well. Today, this recording video mail is being done on July 26, 2022. The goal of this video mail is simple, is to present to you guys the brand new format of our master bulletin. So in the past, we've had multiple bulletins to present all the information concerning team selections and rankings and events, and it became confusing. So this year we decided to gather everything under the same document, call it a master bulletin, and achieve three goals. The first one was to simplify by bringing everything together. Two, try to limit the text and have a lot less information to read by presenting more visual information and graphs and tables. So we're going that right away. Where can you find this document? Well, online, of course, on the SSC website. I'm going to bring you there right now. And when you're on the SSC website, you can click on this resource section right there. Click on that. And then if you go down, you'll find a high performance section for short track right there. Click on this, and then you'll see only two documents and only one master bulletin. That's the one right there. So you can download it to your computer, and from there you can start going through the document. It's an Excel file. It's a locked file. So if it requires you to enter a password, just say go into reading mode. I'm going to share that document right away. So here it is. It's a series of tabs, colored tabs, and on the extreme left, complete left, right there is the index tab. So you see the list of all the other tabs, the red tabs, the blue tabs, and the purple tabs. As you scroll to the right, you'll see all those tabs right there. But instead of looking for them, you can actually just click, like let's say I want to go to the competition calendar. I click on this hyperlink. It's going to bring me there directly. I can play around with the size of the page and look at that. So I see all the competitions coming up this season, and I can go back to the index on the upper right. So that way, that's the easiest way to scroll around and to move around in the overall master bulletin. So I'd like to bring your attention to a couple of those tabs. So the first one I want to stop is at the national rankings one. Brand new system. In the past, especially last year, we had only one event, which was Canada Cup final, to actually determine the final rankings for the year. This year, three events will count: the Canadian Championships, Canada Cup 1, and Canada Cup Final. And we're running 6 events at each of these competitions, which means we're going to have 18 events at the end of the season. We're going to take your best 12 results out of 18. Doesn't matter which distance. So that way you can maximize your efficiency as you progress throughout the season. Of course, we're going to use that system of points and the ranking points again to nominate our future team. So there is a tab next to it that's called the National Team and Next Gen Team Selection Process. And I won't go through that, but you guys can read that. And of course, it will take into account the national final rankings that I just presented to you. So again, going back to the index, clicking here, I also like to draw your attention to the buy request. So every year there is a series of buy requests that's possible for some people to ask, or who's eligible for a buy request for a team selection or for an event. You can read that, and then the process to actually, if you're eligible for a buy request, how do you proceed to actually submit your buy? So all the information is there for you to read. And again, the purpose of our video today is just to make sure you understand where the information is. Let me bring you back to the index. Last one I'd like to show you. If I scroll down to the international events, I'm going to bring you to the World Cups and World Championships. They're actually the same tab. And the reason why I'm showing you that is we've made an important change, and I would say an upgrade to the whole selection process. And this was done with the members, the athletes representative of the national team. They worked with us to come up with a system that was a bit more efficient. So as you can see in blue, we're going to use the 3 competitions throughout the year that help us to obtain some points, some national ranking points. And for World Cups 1, 2, and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, Canadian Championships will count. Also, we will take into effect the last international result that's available. So any international events like World Championships and, of course, the past Olympic Games that we just went through in February will be used. So if I scroll down, all the information is presented in the table below. But if I increase the percentage to be a bit more visual here and scroll to the left, this is how we're going to nominate Racing Pool for the first 4 World Cups. So the overall points per distance at the Canadian Championships, because that will be the only event ran at that time for national ranking points. And then podiums either at the Asian Games or the World Championships that we ran in Montreal. So we're trying to take into account the national ranking, but also the best recent international results for podiums. So that is the way that the racing pool will be selected. But for all the information, just go through the tabs and you can always come back to us if you have additional questions. Now, for the remainder of this video mail, I'm going to ask my partner, Jonathan Kavar, to join me. He is the now working on the Sport Pathway. He's the manager of Sport Pathway, and Jonathan's going to present extra tabs to you guys.
Hello, everyone. So yeah, I'd like to share some examples of some tabs that have information for either domestic or some international competition selection. So starting a share here with you for an example of one of our domestic competitions. This one happens to be the Short Track Canada Cup 1. And the format of the tab is similar for all of our domestic competitions and presenting all of the key information that you need for the running of this event or knowing how to participate. So we start off with some key objectives for the competition and key deadlines, entry deadlines, and standards that you might require in order to gain entry, including the competition format as well. So what events will be run, what distances, and how frequently. The competition entry requirements, which is critical, obviously how to get into the competition, knowing what standards or information and how many athletes will be participating. The competition format in more detail can be found on a different tab, a competition format page where all of the format race progressions can be found. So on this page, it's more specific details to the competition itself. The seating details and any special racing rules or notes can also be found on this page. Now, the domestic competitions are competitions that we host, so we're running the competition. If I show you an example now of an international competition where we're not the host, we're actually just selecting a team. I'll jump over here to the World Junior Championships. So there's some very similar information, but because we're not the hosts, we're more selecting a team to attend. So we still have competition objectives, sort of the purpose of attending. We have some quota information and eligibility, who would be allowed to enter. And primary information, important to everybody, of course, is the sequence of selection to the team. So really knowing how an athlete is going to be able to gain entry to an international competition like the Canadian or like the World Junior Championships. So domestic competition, we're really the hosts, we're running the event. You can see how you can enter. And on the international competition tabs, you can see how to gain entry to a competition.
Thank you, Jonathan. So in conclusion, of course, we're going to have updates to do throughout the season. Even Jonathan showed you some sections where we're still missing some information. So contact person for events or additional specific racing rules. But instead of waiting to actually have all that information set to go, we release it as we have it and just update the same master bulletin. So the only thing that will change is the date on the master bulletin, and you'll understand that an update has been done. And on that, if you have any questions, contact us anytime. Want to wish you guys a great season. Take care.